State. And there are the starting lineups for you for Alcorn State. Sydney Valentine, Bailey Upshaw, Casey Watkins, Aaron Mims on the outside. The setter is Ramona Pulu, Jalea Hamby, and the libero, who we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Harmony Carswell, is the lineup for the head coach, Mariah Prince. Meanwhile, for the Privateers, their lineup on the outside, it's going to be Chelsea Daffin and Divine Moe. The setter is Defne Eciroglu. The middles, Ava Kennan and Courtney Roundtree. Akir Scales on the right. And the libero today is Kyla Baker, who will get her first start as the libero. All three liberos have certainly had playing time this year, and now with Kyla getting the starting call here today, all three liberos have started a match this season so far. For head coach Ashley Preston, who always emphasizes defense, and her teams have had some very solid defensive numbers over the past couple of years, and looking to certainly continue that trend here as the Privateers march along towards conference play. For both teams, it certainly was an interrupted week for Alcorn State from a travel perspective. Of course, with Hurricane Francine, they were actually supposed to play in Lake Charles earlier this week. That did not happen because of the path of Hurricane Francine. And of course, we're thinking of everybody who was in the path of the storm and everybody who's trying to get back on their feet, those who may still be without power. We're thinking, of course, of everybody who was affected by Hurricane Francine, and it certainly interrupted both teams as far as their schedule. For the Privateers, of course, the campus was closed actually Wednesday and Thursday. There you see head coach Ashley Preston in her fourth season at the helm here at UNO. And Coach Preston in a Southland Conference now that has expanded with the return of Stephen F. Austin and UTRGV coming in. It certainly adds to the depth of competition. And there's Mariah Prince, her second season at Alcorn State. And this is a very young Lady Braves roster. You look up and down this roster, and it's 14 student athletes. Only 3 are upperclassmen. There are 2 juniors and 1 senior on the roster. So with a very young team, you can expect certainly that there have been some growing pains through these first 4 matches for Alcorn State. But it's all about a process, and certainly nothing is linear. The Lady Braves certainly looking to just continue to go on that upward track towards, of course, when SWAC play starts for Alcorn State. Speaking of SWAC play, we will face another SWAC opponent tomorrow with the Privateers. Florida A&M comes into town, whom the Privateers already faced last weekend in the Invitational that the Rattlers hosted. Privateers on the left side of your screen, and their white uniforms here this afternoon. Alcorn State in black on the right side. Of course, the officials doing their final checks here before we get underway here at the Human Performance Center. We're so glad you joined us wherever you may be joining us from. Privateers, last weekend, a tough weekend results-wise, but Coach Preston talked about the fact that there are certainly some signs that this team is starting to progress in a direction that she would like this team to go in. It's just a matter of being able to finish in some tight situations. There have been some tight sets that the Privateers have fallen on the short end of, and just having that mental toughness as well. As Defne Eciroglu will serve here to start off for the Privateers. Early reception just getting underneath, and that's just a little tip over. Having to dive for it is Baker. She keeps it up, and now Moe pushes it back on the Lady Braves side. Set here towards the outside for a cross-court kill that goes in the first point for Alcorn State, and that is Casey Watkins. The freshman out of Cedar Hill, Texas, gets the visiting Lady Braves on the board. Now the serve over by the center, Pulu, and that's going to be an ace. Moe got kind of caught a little bit in an awkward position there and just tried to readjust to it, could not, wound up hitting it backwards, and no other Privateer could chase it down. 2-0 Alcorn State. Pulu will serve again here. Serve, a line drive, Moe handles it. Baker, now it's just going to be a tip over there, but a diving dig that time by the libero Carswell. Here's a swing that's kept up off the deflection there by Daffin. Now popped over by Scales deep. Covered in the back there by Valentine. Here's a swing that winds up a kill for Alcorn. And a great start for the visitors. Bailey Upshaw gets on the board for the Lady Braves. Privateers looking to settle in here. Pulu sends it on an angle over. That one goes wide. That posed maybe 1 or 2 questions at the beginning of it, but the Privateers let it go. And it drifts wide, and now New Orleans will get on serve here with Chelsea Daffin. true freshman from Mobile. There are 3 Alabama natives who are new to the roster this year. A set that could not connect that time, and a point for New Orleans. Pulu was trying to connect that time with Upshaw, just missed time there on the communication. Back-to-back points here. New Orleans gets a free one that time. Defne sends it over high, and just getting underneath that one. Going in front was Valentine. Now we got a whistle as that one's pushed into the antenna, so it's automatically out of bounds, and a point for the Privateers as Watkins pushed that one towards the block, but it hit the antenna first. Defne again sends this one deep, handling cleanly there. Valentine from behind the 10-foot line. Nice tip and a kill there for Sydney Valentine. She finds that void right in the middle of the court as she tipped it well over the block that time of Kennan, and gets it round right in the middle. Couldn't have rolled the ball any better than she tipped it. 4-3 Alcorn State, deep serve, Baker handles. Now Eciroglu outside set this for Mo. That one goes long, no touch, and a point for Alcorn State. Divine Mo, just a little bit too much that time from the McKinney, Texas native, and one of the D1 transfers, transferred over from Coppin State. Serve over, Baker handles. Eciroglu the bump set this time. It's for the left-hander Scales. Nice punch there by Carswell to keep it up. Here's the left-handed swing that goes into the net that time. And an attack error from Erin Mims on her first swing. And a point for the Privateers. On rotation, Roundtree back in. Kyla Baker, Durwood, Maryland native, true freshman. Prepped at Paint Branch High School, serves over to Carswell, libero to libero, angle tip that time, and a kill for Alcorn State, and that is Upshaw. Bailey Upshaw from the middle has made her presence felt thus far in these first 10 rallies, and the Lady Braves back on serve, and it is Upshaw to serve. Alcorn State leading 6-4. Sends it deep over, and that one is received, and now going to be set up for Roundtree. He hammers that one home. Well, when the set is in rhythm, when everything is in rhythm, Courtney Roundtree can unleash that pure power that she has. That was a big part of how she finished last season. She hit over 370 in the last 15 matches.